XRP is currently popping, and right now, guys, I believe we are set up to see one of the biggest moves we've seen in a very long time. We've got several catalysts lined up. I want to talk to you about in this video as we've got breaking news, some crazy news that came in here today. But ultimately, in this video, I want to talk to you about why I believe we're about to see all-time highs and beyond. If you do like talking about Ripple and XRP, type in X in the comment section, smash that like button, and let's get into it, guys. It's been a few days. Sorry I haven't been able to put out a video. I've had a lot going on, but right now we have some crazy things going on with XRP, some crazy things being said here today. I want to make sure we get out as we're popping about 9% in price action today. $2.55 is where XRP is at, over 116% at the time of this recording in volume capital flowing into XRP. Now, today we had CNBC put out an article titled Ripple Labs is conquering, keyword conquering, crypto. Now, the XRP link firm wants to take on traditional finance. Now, I'm going to link this article as always in the description below. I'm not going to read through all of it, but essentially what they're talking about is the absolute powerhouse Ripple has become in taking on $4 billion worth of acquisitions on this buying spree they've been on here in 2025. And this is why we say Ripple is leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. It's not even close. And that is why as they push this technology forward, XRP is bound to eventually be the #1 asset in this market, in my personal opinion. Now, many of you are probably well aware that last night senators voted on the motion to proceed funding measure to reopen the government. We've been talking about how this has been a wet blanket, not just on XRP, but the overall market. We're about to pull that layer off. As Eleanor Terrett here today, guys, put out the House in recess since the shutdown began last month, would return to pass the amended bill, putting the government on track to reopen this week by the end of this week and closing the book on what is now, believe it or not, a 40-day in counting government shutdown. Now, we had some breaking news in here today, some very good things coming out. As first off, we had Speaker Johnson come out confirmed he has enough votes to pass the bill to reopen the U.S. government this week. As a result, what happened? Polymarket, the betting site, right, now predicting the shutdown could end on Thursday. Thursday? That's interesting because Ripple Swell just happened, right? And we remember big institution Canary Capital came out and stated that they are ready to go with their XRP ETF on the 13th of November, which is just days away. Now, as we see Poly market surge, a rise 84% in terms of predicting that the government shutdown is going to end this week. What's on the horizon as well? Well, here today, we had Governor Stephen Moran calling for the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates 50 basis points in December. Of course, going to bring liquidity, bring capital in the market, help for this market to become healthier and just the overall market do better right throughout this year. But what specifically is about to send XRP in a big way? Well, it's no secret. Right now, DTCC shows 11 XRP ETF tickers in active or pre-launch mode, ready to go, my friends. Now, we talked about Canary Capital. We also know that within the next week or two, we're likely going to see Bitwise XRP ETF, CoinShares XRP ETF, Franklin Templeton XRP ETF, as well as 21 shares XRP ETF. And that's just scratching the surface. We talk about what's coming with the interest rates, what could potentially happen with the law to this market this week. Things are about to get crazy. I think we're about to see XRP explode in a big way. Heads will be spinning because a lot of people, I don't think, realize how quickly, how swiftly, and how hard upward XRP can move. We've seen it in the past. I believe it's about to happen again. We know ISO is about to go live. And right now, the institutions are clearly watching XRP closer than any other digital asset out there, which brings me to the conclusion that those out there that are telling you that this cycle is about to be over or that the cycle is going to be exactly like it was in the past just don't see what is clearly on the table. these catalysts. I've seen a lot of technical analysts here lately talking about, hey, be careful right now. Here today actually marks the end of the last 4-year cycle back in 2021. But the difference is the institutions that were in then weren't in like they are now. The products were not there. The XRP ETFs weren't there. And the liquidity that's about to flow into this market just wasn't there. I think we have some very, very good things lined up on the table right now for XRP. And what that means, guys, for those of you, even the newer investors, that it's probably been hard for you to hang on in this market, this very volatile cryptocurrency market this year. If you are someone that just got in this year, it's probably been hard. Maybe not so much for those of us that have been around for years that are just used to this volatility. But what this means is we're already getting a glimpse of what is about to happen as we see price action right now. But more so, with the light at the end of the tunnel, we're about to get the big reward. We're about to see the fireworks, in my personal opinion. And what that means is a very, very big move for XRP, a big return for those of us that have been patient, that have been thinking like investors, that have been holding strong in this digital asset. That's all I got for you for now. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate your support. We'll see you all in the next one.